Cracka, episode 26, part 2. Unfortunately, this is a remake, a redo, because the original part 2, 3, and 4 that I had lots of clips, and YouTube and Facebook are busting my balls about copyright stuff, so I can't show any clips. So it's going to be a remake. I'm going to try not to bitch too much, because the other parts were actually cool when I had them done, and it saved a lot of time and trouble on certain things, but what can you do? I have to make it over, and hopefully I'll just make it into a part 2 rather than a couple other parts. But it sucks I can't show the clips because some of the clips were cool. But like I said, especially it would help on Doom, because I had a clip in there where it showed the first-person mode, which was pretty damn cool. I did like it. The movie overall sucked balls. Even with The Rock, he couldn't save it, and everyone thought like The Rock was the actual star, but it's Carl Urban who's the star. Basically, in the game, hell is unleashed on Earth and Mars, and somewhat like it transports, something like that. The movie, it's basically they're on Mars from like the third game, and Carl Urban apparently finds out he's part of some ancient race, and his sister is a scientist, and she jabs him with a needle, and it soups him up basically. So then it turns into first-person mode where he's running around with the gun shooting things, which was pretty cool. I did like that. But the rest of the movie sucked ass. I mean, I'd give it a 2 just for The Rock being in there. And they did have some cool stuff from the game. I'll give them credit on that. But they just had some twisted stuff. Like one guy, I think his name was Goat, keeps talking about how he wants to have sex with little boys and she-males and just weird shit. So I mean, I guess it's worth a rent just to check out that first-person shooter part, which the clip was on here, and I had to get rid of. Damn copyright, but that would have saved you a lot of money. But it's worth renting if you want to watch that thing. But be prepared to be disturbed at certain parts. But anyway, moving on to another waste of time is Postal. I'd give this one a 1. My friends told me it was cool. It really wasn't. It wasn't as funny as I thought it was going to be. Like they claimed it was. Just kind of messed up. I mean, you don't even have to get into the story. It's just like a guy goes crazy and he's having such a bad day. He just goes nuts and wipes people out. Anyway, moving on to the fighters section of the thing. Like I said, I had cool clips, but can't win them all. Tekken. I actually did like this one. I thought it was cool. The fight scenes were really good. The characters were pretty close to the game. Storyline kind of sucked a little bit, but it wasn't too bad. And the storyline wasn't as crappy as I'm going to probably tell it out. But it was cool. It's definitely worth renting, and chances are if you rent it, you're going to like it and want to buy it. It is good. The fight scenes were cool. Some of them did make me feel a little claustrophobic. I don't know why. I never get like that, but the fight scenes were so close-quartered. I don't know. Weird. I'd give this one, like I said, I'd probably give it like an 8 or a 9. 7, 8, or 9, give or take. I can never really lock down a huge ranking on some ones, but this one's in that category. Either a 7, 8, or a 9. I'm so indecisive. But moving on to Dead or Alive, this is another one that basically the characters were really cool. The fight scenes were cool. They did stick to the game with the characters. The storyline was kind of iffy, but not too bad. I like this one as well. Especially if you rent it, you're gonna like it. You probably pick it up, especially if you're a fan of the game. It's funny because the two of these, they had such a very limited run in the movies. I mean, I think they were out like for like a month, maybe 2 months, if that. Probably not even. But they were cool. They're worth watching. They're worth taking a look at. I'd give DOA probably the same rating as Tekken, 7, 8, or 9, because it was cool. Moving on to one, what's not really technically a fighter, but somewhat. Double Dragon. This thing is just a classic. Billy and Jimmy Lee. I mean, they fight the T-1000. Anyway, this one apparently it's hard to get on DVD, Double Dragon, because I guess it bombed so badly in the theaters. It is very loosely based on the game. I mean, it's got the characters in there, sort of. It's basically a comedy, which is all right. I mean, considering the game is kind of hardcore, but it's not too bad. I mean, it's worth watching. It's like a little family movie, but it's cool. I like it. I think it's a cool classic. This is actually an uncut version that they, like I said, it's foreign, as you can see that right there, but it's in English, so that's a plus. But it's cool. I'd give Double Dragon probably an 8 because I like it. You know, as a kid, I loved watching it. Even though it bombed, it was cool. Which brings me to Street Fighter. Um, Another one that kind of bombed. It sucks because it was Raul Julia's last movie, and I actually liked him as an actor. He played M. Bison, which is very cool. Van Damme obviously played Guile, which, like I said, in the other parts, I had clips where it showed his flash kick and stuff like that. I didn't mind Street Fighter. I thought it was cool because it had the characters. I mean, it did stick to the game. They added a couple people, but the thing that sucks about it is a lot of characters that originally were cool, they kind of sucked in the movie. Like, they don't have any real. Well, let's put it this way: when you make a movie on a game that's centered more on special moves, kind of like Mortal Kombat, you know, like Guile throws a sonic boom, which is like an energy wave, and his flash kick, stuff like that. They tried to make it more realistic, where that doesn't exist. Like, you know, there's no such thing as a sonic boom or fireball, which would have been a lot cooler to see. I mean, me as a fan, you know, I grew up with Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat and stuff like that. As a fan, it would have just kicked ass to see, like, you know, Ryu throw a fireball. I just think that would have been cool. He kind of does. It's so low key, but they went too far to make it realistic. But it's a good movie. I liked it. I'd give it an 8 because it was fun. It was fun. But like I said, some of the characters like really kind of suck. Like DJ, I liked in the game, and they kind of shortchanged him a little bit. He did absolutely nothing in the movie. Zangief was kind of wasted, but the guy did look like him. They did have their costumes towards the end, which was cool. But like I said, they didn't have any of the moves. Like Guile, Van Damme does do the flash kick to Bison, which was kind of cool. Bison kind of uses electromagnetism to fly, like his Psycho Crusher, so that's kind of in there, which was good. Ryu like does his fireball motion, and it just like kind of like it looks like a little electric zap. It was weird, but he does the Vega, who actually does his roll, which was probably the best out of all the special stuff. Sagat, however you want to say his name, he kind of does his Tiger Knee in a way, and Ken kind of does a Dragon Punch, but it's more like he does like an uppercut, but then just like turns around. Very weird. Cammy does a thrust kick kind of thing, and she has her throw, which wasn't bad. E Honda has his hand slap, which was not too bad either. Balrog does his wind up punch. But it's funny because in the movie, Balrog is a bad guy in the game, but he's a good guy in the movie. Like I said, they're weird stuff. Dhalsim's in it. He does basically nothing. He's a scientist that turns Guile's friend Charlie into Blanca, which in the game they're separate people. Charlie is kind of like a Guile clone, and Blanca is, you know, Blanca raised him. He's a mutant kind of thing. But in the movie, they combine both of them. That's why Guile's pissed, because Bison, you know, does all this crap and, you know, turns them into one thing. Well, anyway. But moving on to probably I think the best video game movie they've ever done. Like I said, with Resident Evil, Paul Anderson is a genius, and that's Mortal Kombat, which I have on regular and Blu-ray. I also have it on video cassette. Mortal Kombat was just friggin' awesome. They had everything in there. That's the way Street Fighter should have been. They all have the special moves. They have fatalities, and like I said, they were awesome fight scenes. I'd give Mortal Kombat a 10. It's awesome on Blu-ray. Like with they have on the Blu-ray they actually added the animated movie that they had that kind of coincided with it, which was really cool. It's an awesome movie. If you haven't seen it, go see it. I mean, don't even rent it. Just buy it. It's great. It's worth having. I'm not going to get too much into it, like I said, because I'm actually going to do that in a later thing for another episode. Get into that another time. But moving on to its shitty counterpart, which was Annihilation, which was just flat out sad. I have it on Blu-ray as well. I'm a Mortal Kombat fan, that's why I picked it up, but I mean, it did have a cool thing with Cyrax in there, but the fight scenes were almost worthless. Sub-Zero was flat out retarded. I mean, I waited forever to watch the Sub-Zero Scorpion fight, and it wasn't too bad, but then it was just like really, it kind of dragged out where it got retarded. Nightwolf they had in there. I was waiting for Nightwolf, and they made him shitty. It was just a bomb. I mean, I'd give Mortal Kombat Annihilation maybe a 3. just because I'm a fan of Mortal Kombat. But this is another example of what not to do with a video game movie. The guy who played Raiden, James Remar, he's an awesome actor, but he just sucked as Raiden, especially when they made him human and he had blonde spiked hair. Oh God. Um, there's so much wrong with the movie, but I'm gonna get, like I said, I'm gonna make a Mortal Kombat episode which deals with the game and the movie, so I'm not gonna get too much into it. But another cool thing, the show is Mortal Kombat Conquest, which, as you can see, I got signed by Christina Loken, who played there we go, Taja. Very cool show, very cool. I loved it. It just sucks it only lasted one season. It was kind of a different take on Mortal Kombat before the original game. Basically, it's revolves around Kung Lao winning the tournament like 500 years ago. Very cool series, but like I said, I'm gonna try to get into that, to another Mortal Kombat thing when I do an episode on that. They do have another series called Legacy out, which is really good as well. It's kind of realistic in a way, like they try to make it realistic but still have the cool stuff in there. Very cool. And the guy who made Legacy apparently is making the new Mortal Kombat movie, and I can't freaking wait, because the Legacy thing was actually really good. Check that out on YouTube. They have like all the episodes, just very well done, and I hope he does a good job on the new one. That's it for pretty much all the video game movies that I have. I probably missed a couple, but who knows? I mean, they throw them out. I mean, the rumors that I heard going around, basically for video game movies anyway, like I said, rumors. I'm gonna work on this card. Supposedly they're making a Sonic the Hedgehog movie that's computer generated. I don't know. I don't know how you can pull that off. I mean, the cartoon was cool, the old cartoon. I didn't like the new one too much. I mean, it wasn't too bad, but the old cartoon was better. But that's one thing I heard. I heard they're remaking Mario Brothers, or making a sequel, which I really could care less. I mean, if they make a remake and actually do it the right way, then yeah, I'm all for it. I'll take a look. But if they continue the way it was, then you might as well just put a shotgun to the director's head and call it a day. I heard the biggest rumor of all, which is I would love to see. I would love to have seen, or hopefully will see, is they're making a Legend of Zelda movie, which about time. I mean, the closest thing you'll get to that is if you watch the movie Legend, which is pretty much dead on for Zelda. And another one that two of them actually. One, it's still a rumor, but I've seen like a script thing on it that they claim is a go, and they had like kind of a mock trailer for it. Is Castlevania. Supposedly Paul Anderson is making it, apparently now, because he made the next Resident Evil, but he's now making Castlevania, which that would be kick ass. I mean, they showed like I said, like a mock kind of trailer with a Simon Belmont, like at the beginning of the first game where the gates open, but in the trailer you see like a werewolf like running up and back of him, and he just kind of like bitch slaps him with the whip. Very cool. Another rumor I heard was Metroid. They're supposed to be making a Metroid thing, but who knows? You can never tell. You never know. I mean, Hollywood probably should, because they're running out of ideas. I mean, they're doing all remakes and crap like that, but who knows? But anyway, thanks for watching episode 26, and I'll see you in episode 27. And like I said, I'm sorry it didn't have any clips. I tried. Copyright sucks. What can I do? But thanks for watching this one anyway, and see you later.